We can't celebrate 40 years of Star Wars without remembering our beloved princess.
Carrie Fisher, and I've said many times now, that she really is a modern woman, and she isn't just a woman that you know, you put guys' clothes on her and she becomes a hero. She was a princess. She was a senator. She played a part that was very smart, and she was having to hold her own against two big lugs, you know, these goofballs that were screwing everything up. But she was the boss. It was her war. And when I cast it, I said, I really want somebody young to play the part. I want somebody very young. And when Carrie came in, she was that character. She was very strong, very smart, very funny, very bold, very tough. You know, there really wasn't much of a question. There are not very many people like her. You know, they're 1 in a billion. And for this particular part, it was absolutely perfect because she could hold her own against anything. And she wore a dress through the whole thing, but she was the toughest one of the group. And that's the key to Carrie being able to play that part. It was a hard part to play. And she pulled it off brilliantly. And it really shows the level of her talent, and at the same time, she was fun to be with. She kept the whole group going. She was very funny, very smart, and very challenging in terms of pointing out that certain pieces of dialogue were a little hard to say. But she was brilliant, and obviously we'll all miss her, but she'll always be the princess who took command and never backed down, never was in jeopardy. She was always helping the other guys get out of the messes they created. So, we'll all love her forever.
I think that there was no greater honor than that of working with the late, truly great Carrie Fisher. She was unlike anyone you've known, unlike anyone in this room. Her humor, her insight, her brilliance. When you associate Princess Leia, you realize that was Carrie. She was not only be remembered forever by those who were lucky enough to know her, but she will be remembered forever, even by those who are not old enough yet to say the words, "May the Force be with you." Someone who has known Carrie her entire life, whose world has revolved around Star Wars and is uniquely suited to give us wonderful insight on this remarkable woman, is her daughter, Billie.
My mom used to say she never knew where Princess Leia ended and Carrie Fisher began. She went from being an unknown actress, the daughter of Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, to Princess Leia, a character synonymous with the idea of the ultimate strong woman, a soldier, a fighter, a beyond capable, independent, sensible woman in control of her own destiny, a rebel who resisted the norm. She was imperfect in many ways, but her imperfections and willingness to speak about them are what made her more than perfect. My mom, like Leia, wasn't ever afraid to speak her mind and say things that might have made most people uncomfortable, but not me and not you. That was why she loved you, because you accepted and embraced all of her. The strong soldier of a woman she was, and also the vulnerable side of her, who often openly fought her own dark side, knowing early on that we all have a dark side of our own, whatever it may be. But she knew that it wasn't about the fight that you were fighting, but how you fought it, the way you resisted. No one could have known what this once little dream of a movie would eventually become, and what it would mean to millions worldwide. Mostly not her. But in our world, Star Wars ultimately became our religion, our family, and our way of life. And I wanted to be here with all of you because I know that many of you feel the same way. When she surrounded herself with fans at celebrations like this, she never felt more at home. She could spend hours talking to people and learning about their lives and how Star Wars and Leia touched them the same way it touched us. If left to her own devices, she would have always been the last person to leave the convention center, having met and had a shared Carrie moment with every single person there. Nothing about her was a performance. She loved you, she loved these movies, she loved the people she got to make them with, and she loved this incredible character she got to create, this force called Leia. She taught me 3 important things. One thing all mothers should teach their daughters. General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret that I am unable to present my father's request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack, and I'm afraid my mission to bring you to Alderaan has failed. I have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of this R2 unit. My father will know how to retrieve it. You must see this droid safely delivered to him on Alderaan. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Secondly, she taught me that if life isn't funny, then it's just true, and that is unacceptable. And finally, I learned by knowing her that the most evolved person is seemingly a contradiction. They're both the strongest and the most vulnerable person in the room, and that was her. That is Leia. Thank you for loving her and carrying on what she stands for. I'm beyond grateful.